This fire was very close to my home, so again I had an early arrival. Engine laying in a 2.5-inch feeder line from hydrant to the fire, which was a roof attic fire. Elderly gentleman was home but uninjured. His wife was at church. It was on a Sunday morning. Took one line around behind, another line in the front door. Appears to be some confusion, and the problem actually here was that they had inadvertently charged the hose bed and had to rearrange things. Battalion Chief. Took another hose bundle to work on the roof from the outside. The average person watching this sequence of film would think that it took forever to get the fire under control, but I think you'd be surprised if you timed it from laying the hose at the hydrant until the roof is darkened down. It's not much more than 1.5 minutes or so. This was an old 2-story house in the center of town, used by transients. It was fully involved, and that's about as fully involved as you can get when the units arrived. It wasn't any question of trying to save the house, but simply to cool it down and protect exposures. There was a water problem, even though it was in town, because it was on a dead-end street, and the mains were such that the hydrant available right by the fire delivered only some 800 gallons, and they had to go to other hydrants further away. It's rather surprising that the upper stories didn't collapse and fall over, considering the amount of fire. Another small, weak hose stream. Fire has burned right through the wall of the house completely, so that the upright studs are showing there. Fire inspectors on the scene the next day to see if they can find anything out, and also be sure and block off the building, which I'm sure was very dangerous to be near at that point. This was a fire in a store in a local shopping center. In the back room, couldn't get through the front because of the amount of smoke and heat, so an engine came behind here and dropped 1.5 inch and a 2.5-inch line, and then drove to the hydrant to hook up. The men opened the back door probably a little too soon before the lines were adequately charged, and they encountered a lot of fire. That's the chief. That little glitch was where I sort of dropped the camera for a minute. This fire was almost certainly arson. It was actually taken to court and tried, but unfortunately no conviction was obtained. It's a large grocery store, supermarket, on a Sunday morning. Some indication that flammable liquid had been spread around. Again, a second alarm would bring 4 engines, each with a 3-man crew, plus the truck with 1 man. They set up the ladder in front of the building. That's a 1949 American of France with an 85-foot aerial. They set up a monitor alongside the building, but there obviously wasn't enough pressure when it first was put into operation. Attempted to move it a little closer. Got a ladder pipe going. The truck was close enough to the fire that there was some paint blistering, and I believe it cracked the windshield. Firefighter climbing the ladder to direct the pipe. Got a good stream going with the monitor at this point. The building was a total loss, although the shell remained, and it has been rebuilt and is now being used as an office complex. One of several chiefs on hand. Men using a large line up close in front. Fellow in the white, milkman actually, is a volunteer with the Bellevue Department, a local small department, and he's giving a hand. As I recall, there were rekindles for days afterward.